This is Dr. Angelika Christie's show for women who want to be magnetic, sexy, healthy, and abundant. Angelika is an international speaker and trendsetter for women's wellness and leadership. And you are listening to the SOB Radio Network. Hello again, my friends. Here we are with another episode. And this one was supposed to be how to attract abundant wealth. But before we go on with that last subject in the series of how to prosper on purpose, which is how to create abundance in your life, let me recap what I have shared with you so far in the last 4 episodes on how to empower yourself spiritually. So in the first part on how to empower yourself spiritually, I shared with you why it is necessary to understand your spiritual nature. I shared with you how science and ancient spiritual truths are complementing each other, and that religion and spirituality are not the same. We went on to discuss how fear rules your life, because fear is on the rise globally and is the reason why we have no peace. Not within ourselves, not within our families, not within our communities, not within our countries, and not in the world at large. Then in part 2 on how to empower yourself spiritually, I shared with you how to understand your frightened ego that may shout in your head, "It's too late, you are too old, nobody would care," and on and on. All those limiting and disempowering inner voices that are actually phantoms without any credibility, unless you give it credibility and buy into the illusion of your inner self. And then in part 3 on how to empower yourself spiritually, we talked about your gift, the special gift you came into this lifetime with, and that you came to share your gift in a bigger way. I shared tools with you about how to discover your gift, and also brought your awareness to what may stand in the way of living your highest potential through your unique talent and gifts. I shared with you the 5 reasons why you may hesitate to step into your highest potential and brilliance. And here are those 5 reasons, and I surveyed women on those, and here are the 5 main reasons. There are more, but here are the first 5. Lack of confidence, not knowing how to even start, fear of criticism, fear of little or no support, and fear of loneliness. And then I discussed how to overcome those limiting beliefs and how you create joy and abundance in your life by aligning with your gift that may still wait to be discovered by you and realized as a treasure you have that nobody else has but you, and that nobody else could ever share in the way that you can. So here we already shared a little bit about, so to speak, a preview on how to create abundance in your life. So in the last part, that which was part 4 on how to empower yourself spiritually, I shared with you about the urgency to take a stand and become the powerful spiritually being that you are. How your thoughts and emotions are registered on the electromagnetic grid that surrounds and protects our Earth. In other words, that what you think and feel matters on a global scale. And I gave you the proof that NASA provided when they discovered the dip in our Earth's electromagnetic field when the world moved into a strong emotional outbreak and shock. And that was when on the 9th of September 2011, the second airplane crashed into the second Twin Tower in New York City. I think nobody will ever forget that. And then I shared with you that the electromagnetic field from your heart dwarfs that of your brain, and that the heart reacts 1,000 times faster to any event than your brain. And how to bring the love and wisdom from your heart into your brain or align it with your brain. And then we learned that our non-verbal communication is powerful and actually broadcasts out into the world every moment. Yes, 24 hours a day. And at the same time, we also receive. So you also receive the non-verbal communication around the clock from everybody else, even though you're not conscious of that. We are not consciously aware of this. And I invited you to make a conscious choice for peace within you by bringing coherence and harmony into the communication between your heart and your brain. And I closed the last session with this statement: the love from your human heart is what empowers you. And the love of your human heart is what will bring peace and save our world. So, what are we going to talk about today, you may ask? That's a good question. Because I changed my mind about what I wanted today's episode to be all about. I wanted to move into the next and last theme in the How to Prosper on Purpose series, which would be how to attract abundant wealth, which is part of the Prosper on Purpose program. And you know that the larger theme for this radio show has the title Magnetic, Sexy, Ageless, and Abundant. So you know that abundant is the last consequence after you learned and applied all of the other 4 steps, which I call modules in my program. What modules, you may ask? If you remember, and if you were with me from the first episode, you know that we started the whole radio show with Module 1, and that was how to crystallize your goals. And then we went into Module 2, where I shared with you how to optimize your health. And then in Module 3, we went deeply into how to transform your relationships, and the one that really starts with you. And then in Module 4, which was the last module, which was really covered in the last 4 episodes, the theme was on how to empower yourself spiritually. And I thought that last week's episode was the one that would wrap it up. And then I got requests from my listeners to share more, to share some of the spiritual practices that I would recommend to get into this inner place, or to get to this inner place of truth and peace. So I listened to you and decided to add another part of the How to Empower Yourself Spiritually series. Therefore, rather than moving into how to attract abundant wealth, I will share with you today why a daily spiritual practice is so important. I will also share with you some choices and varieties you can pick of spiritual practices that will accommodate your personality and lifestyle. Yes, I don't think I have time to go into many, maybe only into one, but we will talk about one spiritual practice in some more depth today for sure. So how to attract abundant wealth will come next week, okay? So tune in for that. So I realized that we are already almost half through our time together. Not really, but almost. But I thought that it was important to give you a summary of what we had already covered in the last 4 episodes, which were dedicated to the 4th module and how to empower yourself spiritually. So let's jump right into exploring some different spiritual practices that I know of and have practiced myself, and therefore have some experience in through my almost over 40 years of study. But first, before we go into a particular practice, I would like to share with you, and you may ask me why I am qualified to speak about spiritual practices. I have studied with many spiritual masters and actually started my whole adult life with a strong interest and desire, really a desire to understand the mysteries of spirituality, from the ancient masters' teachings to today's spiritual awakening as an evolutionary process. So I studied the ancient masters of Tibet and the Saint Germain teachings more than 30 years ago. And the latest ones were really with Barbara Marx Hubbard and the evolutionary process. So I am, through my studies with her, have become an agent for evolutionary spirituality and the awakening to it. So then I studied yoga and pranayama for the last 40 years and used to teach both until just recently. And then 20 years ago, I started to study Reiki and then became a Reiki master teacher, long before Reiki was known and widely practiced as it is now in the United States and also worldwide. So I hope that you will give me your attention and hear me from your heart, where you receive your own wisdom and guidance. And I'm not here to tell you what you should do, but I only want to sow the seeds of possibilities that you may be attracted to and maybe choose to explore deeper. So the first spiritual practice does not even sound spiritual. Why? Because it is something we do automatically. And I'm talking here about breathing. And yet, most of us forget how to breathe correctly. Yes, I say correctly, because most people, and especially women, breathe too fast or too shallow. Well, it's probably because of our fast-paced and stressful world. And, women wear so many hats and just have so much to do. And since I talk to you, the amazing and wise woman in her 50s and above, 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond, you may know the importance of correct breathing and may have already studied and applied conscious breathing as a daily exercise, maybe even. But if not, here is what I want you to do right now. Well, please, of course, see if you are in the right place and space where this exercise that we are about to do is appropriate. Definitely not while driving in your car or busy with anything else that needs your attention. So I want your full attention. And then either you can stand up or sit down. But I want you to put both of your hands on your abdomen. Okay, ready? Now take a conscious breath in. Not a very deep breath, just breathe in consciously. And notice where your breath goes. What happened in your body? Did your chest rise? Did your breath go into your chest? Did it rise your shoulders? Did you raise your shoulders? Do you even know? If not, then do it again. A conscious inhalation and notice your chest and shoulders. What happened to your shoulders and your chest? If they lifted up, you are not breathing correctly. So here is what your inhalation should look and feel like. The breath that flows through your nose down into your lungs and diaphragm should expand your middle, around your waist, and even a little bit below. And it should feel as if you are filled with air that moves down into your abdomen from the top and expands your belly. And then when you exhale, the air leaves your body from the bottom up, which flattens your abdomen when it leaves that part of your body, and also decreases the volume in your lungs as it flows out through your nose. Got it? And by the way, nose, we should always just breathe through your nose, in and out, except when you do heavy exercises. And there are exceptions, but your mouth is not there for breathing. Your mouth is there for speaking and eating. Your nose is for breathing. And maybe we go into this in another time, why this is so important. So did you get this? Did you get the breathing? Do you want to do this again and notice the movement of your body and feel the path of your air you breathe in and breathe out again? Do this actually a few times. And if you don't seem to get it right, I want you to lie down flat on your back and do it in that position. Why? Because it is easier to breathe correctly when on our backs. There, in that position on your back, your abdomen rests down due to the gravity. And we usually forget that because we are trained when we stand up and during the day, and even especially when we stand up, we are trained to keep our belly in, not to show our belly. And that, of course, restricts the breath from moving toward the diaphragm and therefore prevents correct breathing. Breath is life. You cannot be without breathing in air for more than a few minutes. Your very life depends on breathing air. So now where does the spiritual part of this practice comes in? It comes into using your breath consciously to create a desired mental and emotional and spiritual mood. We learned earlier in an earlier episode that we need to become still in order to get clarity on something, or to get to that place of inner wisdom and guidance. You can use your breath to bring yourself into a state of calmness, focus, and deeper listening to your heart or soul. In the eastern part of the world, it is called meditation, where you sit quietly and listen. You can also chant, you can pray, and this can bring you into the desired state as well. And the way to get there, the fastest and most effective facilitator is your conscious breath. Therefore, first practice correct breathing. And when you have that down, then start to practice breathing in more slowly and exhale more slowly too. And make your exhalation longer than your inhalation. If you want to count while you breathe, do that and get into your own rhythm. And actually counting your breath is a way of calming down your mind, getting your mind out of being busy and just focusing on counting. So maybe like breathing in on a count of 5 and then exhaling on the count of 8. But then you also need to take at least 2 seconds to pause before you start the in-breath or inhalation again. And in that 2-second pause, you are totally relaxed. Another effective breathing to slow down and even lower your heart rate and blood pressure is to breathe in stages. And here is how you can do this. You start with taking a deep and full breath in. And then exhale forcefully. And here you open your mouth and force all of the air out of your body. You may even want to lean forward and press the last bit of air out of your body. And then you sit up straight again and only allow a little bit of air to come in. Something like if your full breath could be divided into four quarters, only breathe 1/4 in and hold that breath for about 15 to 20 seconds. And make sure that you relax your face and shoulders in the holding of your breath. Do you want to do this right now? We could. Okay, why don't we do this? Okay, so start with taking a deep breath in. And then exhale all of the air out. Sit up straight. And now take only a 1/4 breath in and hold. And I cannot hold it, you hold it, because I need to talk you through this. So hold it. Keep on holding. Keep on holding. Relax your shoulders, relax your face, relax your entire body. Relax. Relax. And now take a little more breath in, just another 1/4 of the breath. And hold it. Now you only have half of the breath in your body that a full breath would be all about. So hold that other that other 1/4. And then relax in the holding. Monitor your face. Monitor your shoulders, your scalp, your mouth, your jaw. Have it all relaxed. Relax, relax, relax in the holding. Good. Now take in another 1/4 of a breath. Add to that. Now we add a 3/4 breath. And hold. Hold and relax in the holding. No tension anywhere in your body. Again, we have the tendency to, when we hold, to tense. Relax in the holding. Just hold your breath, relax your face, your shoulders, relax everything. Good. And now take in that last 1/4 breath. Don't put your breath at the very top where you cannot hold it. Breathe in that 1/4 breath. Now you have almost a full breath and hold. Hold it. Hold it. Relax. Relax into it. Relax. Relax. Let go. You don't need to breathe right now. Let go for another 5 seconds. Hold the breath and let go of any tension. Hold and let go. Surrender, surrender, relax. And now exhale. Yes, just exhale all of the breath. And then normalize your breath. Normalize it. Just breathe easily. Breathe easily. Normalize your breath for maybe a minute. And then we are not going through that repetition because we don't have the time to do it here. But now you get it, right? And then do this. Maybe repeat this so that you do this about 3 to 5 times. If you do this before you go to work or have any difficult situation or just want to calm your mind and get clarity, want to come in this total state of connection to your inner wisdom, to your soul self, that's a way to come to this state, because your whole breath will be more relaxed. Okay, so of course there is so much more about the breath as a spiritual exercise. And even though we still have a little time, I don't want to start a new exercise. We leave this maybe for next time, yes? So please find out more and start this powerful exercise that will benefit your body, your mind and emotions, as well as your spiritual empowerment. And if you want to hear more about other spiritual practices that will empower you, let me know and I will add another episode to this one and share more spiritual practices with you. Bye-bye for now.